Do you feel like your relationship is no longer the same? That special connection might be fading? Maybe you're noticing that the spark is fading or that the distance between you is growing. The fear is real. What you have may not last forever if you don't act now. And the pain of losing someone who has been part of your life for so long. That's something no one wants to face. Let me tell you the story of Paulo. He and his wife had been together for over 20 years, but one day he realized that something was changing. Their conversations weren't flowing as they used to. Their gazes were more distant, and that love that seemed unbeatable was weakening. Paulo felt fear pounding in his chest. He knew that if he didn't do something, the thing he loved most could be lost. And do you know what he did? He decided to fight, and he found the solution. In this video, I'll show you the secrets to creating a connection that not only stands the test of time, but grows stronger every day. What you decide to do now could be the key to saving what is most precious to you. Now tell me in the comments, what is the biggest challenge you face in your relationship today? While you think about it, let's find out together how to strengthen this relationship. Oh, and before continuing, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos on how to strengthen your relationship and build a lasting love. First, respect above all. Imagine Paulo, a man who has been through a lot. He got married young and at first thought that love was about always being right. But over time, he realized that true love is not a dispute, but a partnership. He learned to listen to his wife without interrupting, to value her opinions and above all, to respect her feelings. One night, after an argument, he went for a walk and reflected. What is more important, being right or maintaining love? This question kept echoing in his mind. He realized that every time he insisted on winning an argument, he lost a little of the connection with his wife. From that day on, he chose to put respect above ego. Respect brought peace, and peace strengthened love. Because when there is respect, there is emotional security. And without security, no relationship survives. Respect is also expressed in small gestures, like when he realized that his wife was tired and took over the housework without her asking. Or when, even when he disagreed, he stopped to listen to what she had to say without interrupting. Small actions, big impacts. Second, open and honest communication. Paulo has seen many couples break up because they simply couldn't talk. He himself, at the beginning of his marriage, kept things to himself, thinking that his wife should guess his feelings. But one day, after a big argument due to a misunderstanding, he realized something simple. No one has a crystal ball. Once, his wife prepared a special dinner, but he arrived home late from work without warning. She was hurt, and he didn't understand why. After talking, Paulo realized that small actions can be misinterpreted if there is no dialogue. From that day on, he learned to speak clearly, without fear of expressing his concerns and needs. The result? The relationship became lighter, without the silent tensions that wear down any couple. Today, he and his wife talk about everything, because they know that the truth may hurt at the moment, but it prevents deep scars in the future. What about you? Do you usually say what you feel, or do you expect the other person to guess? Third, freedom and individuality. At first, Paulo believed that a couple should do everything together. But after a few years, he realized that this didn't make sense. One day, his wife wanted to take a course she had always dreamed of, and Paulo supported her. He himself went back to practicing his old passions, like fishing and meeting up with friends. And do you know what happened? Their marriage got even better. A healthy relationship is like a dance. Sometimes you need to give each person space to have their own rhythm. Paulo realized that allowing his wife to have time for herself was not a sign of distance, but rather of trust and maturity. A mature relationship does not suffocate or restrict. It gives each person space to continue growing individually, which further strengthens the connection between the two. Do you feel that your individuality is respected in the relationship? Fourth, support in difficult times. When Paulo lost his job after years at the same company, he felt the weight of uncertainty. He thought his wife might complain or get frustrated, but to his surprise, she was his greatest support. "We're in this together," she said. These words gave Paulo the strength to start over. He realized that true love is not just about being together in happy times, but especially in challenging times. On a difficult night, his wife made him tea and sat next to him without saying anything. Her simple presence was enough to let him know he was not alone. In the end, Paulo understood that when a couple faces challenges as a team, love grows stronger. Fifth, mutual admiration. Paul realized that without admiration, love grows cold. One day, He saw his wife helping an elderly neighbor and was impressed by her kindness. Small gestures, but they rekindle the flame of respect and affection. The other day, his wife commented on how much she admired his patience with his grandchildren. Paulo realized that these moments of recognition and gratitude were essential to keeping love alive. Do you still admire the person by your side? If so, how about telling them that today? Sixth, small daily gestures make a difference. Paulo realized that it is not the grand gestures that keep a relationship strong, but rather the small daily details. Like making a coffee, holding his wife's hand for no reason, or leaving a loving note. One day, he came home and found a note on the fridge. "Thank you for always being by my side." That changed his day. He realized that these small gestures make all the difference in keeping the flame of love alive. And you? What can you do today to show love in a simple way? Seventh, grow together and learn from differences. At the beginning of their relationship, Paulo and his wife had many similarities, but over time, they began to notice their differences. He was more pragmatic, she was more of a dreamer. He liked a quiet lifestyle, while she loved adventure and new things. At first, these differences caused friction. But over the years, Paulo learned that differences don't have to be an obstacle, but an opportunity for growth. Instead of trying to change his wife so that she would be more like him, Paulo began to see the differences as something that enriched the relationship. He began to value her new ideas and seek a middle ground between the two. And she, in turn, began to understand the need for stability that he valued so much. The secret was to learn to grow together, respecting each other's particularities. Instead of drifting apart because of differences, the couple learned to use these distinctions to build a richer and deeper relationship. Have you ever thought about how your differences can be an opportunity to grow together? Eighth, the importance of forgiveness and starting over. In any relationship, forgiveness is essential for the continuity and strengthening of the relationship. At first, Paulo believed that for everything to be okay, people needed to be perfect and not make mistakes. But over time, he realized that in order to maintain a lasting relationship, one must learn to forgive and ask for forgiveness. One time, after a big argument, Paulo felt hurt and distanced himself for days. He thought about everything that had happened and realized that the hurt was consuming his energy and damaging the relationship. So he did something simple. He approached her, apologized, and opened up to talk about what was bothering him. His wife, in turn, also apologized. They realized that by forgiving each other, they were not only releasing the pain, but renewing the trust and love they had. Forgiveness is not just about forgetting, but about making room for the relationship to start over, stronger and healthier. Have you ever had to ask for forgiveness in your relationship? What was the experience like of starting over after a mistake? 9. Maintaining physical and emotional connection. Over the years, many couples end up growing apart physically and emotionally. But Paulo learned that in order to keep the flame alive, it is essential to cultivate physical and emotional connection, even when life's responsibilities make it more difficult. He and his wife began to set aside time just for themselves, without distractions. Sometimes this meant going out for dinner for two, or even spending an afternoon together watching a movie on the couch. Paulo understood that, even after so much time together, physical touch, be it a hug, a kiss, or simply holding hands, is essential to reinforce intimacy in the relationship. In addition, he realized that emotional connection also needs to be cultivated frequently. It is not enough to be together physically. You need to connect emotionally, share dreams, frustrations, and laughter. This attention to physical and emotional intimacy is what allows the relationship to grow stronger over the years. Have you and your partner found time to maintain this connection? What can you do to reinforce this in your daily life? Paulo has learned over the years that true love is built day by day, with respect, communication, support, and complicity. And you can also transform your relationship by following these principles. Now tell me, which of these attitudes do you already practice? And which of them do you want to improve? Leave your comment. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos on how to strengthen your relationship and build lasting love.